Good evening. Good evening to the team that gets it clean. I welcome you to the View from My Window Thursday Thoughts with Sharon Greene-Golden. Listen, y'all, I'm getting old. My back is hurting, so I'm sitting in the middle of the bed with a pillow on my lumbar and a pillow on my neck because I got some stress. But I wanted to be on today because I missed you all. So we've decided to do this every other Thursday. There's a lot of content out here right now. There are a lot of people giving a lot of information. And I wanted my Thursday thoughts to be something that were beneficial, that you might want to hear, that you might want to learn from me as a subject matter expert and my cohorts that I bring on. I'm so excited tonight to have with me the present president of Isham, Miss Tanya Lewis from Atlanta, Georgia. And she's going to come on in and we're going to just talk to you all tonight. We're talking about teamwork.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hi, Tanya.
Hey, Sharon, how are you?
I'm fine.
You fine. You fine. You sit in the bed, but you still fine.
Listen, I'm trying to work it out. Yeah. So listen, teamwork. Sterile processing in the last few years, for quite a few years, has spent a lot of time talking about a lot of things. But one thing we do not spend time on is the fact that we are a group of people who have a tendency to work in silos.
Exactly.
One shift against another shift, that shift against the next shift.
Yes.
And my thought came up because I had an incident in my department. I had like a mutiny.
Oh, wow.
We did report, everything was fine. And one of the people comes bursting into the door and says, I need to tell you something. And she says, she goes off to say, the day shift didn't take the instruments off the rack and the night shift ran them and day shift should have put them away. And they do it all the time. And every day I come in and I have to take and put all the stuff away. Well, now I'm there every day. I hadn't seen all this great work. But anyway, I said, really? I said, do you have facts? Not fiction, facts. Don't come in here with what you thought. So she said, yes, the night person's name is on the package. Oh. So she was so mad. I mean, she was like, she had it up
investigating. She was looking at packages and names and everything.
Yes, but she hadn't done it. She hadn't done the right investigation, right? Correct. So I said, are you sure that night shift ran the loads and we didn't put them away? Yes. So I sent somebody else. They came back with the paper. And the paper goes like this. Night shift packed it, but night shift didn't run it.
Okay.
So day shift ran it.
Right.
Day shift didn't run it until about 9:30. Takes about an hour for my machine to work. 10:30, 11. We let it sit in the autoclave another 30 minutes. We almost up to 12 noon.
Exactly.
We've got to let it cool. We're supposed to let it cool.
Yes.
Not put stuff on the shelf hot. Cool. So I said to her, the facts show that night shift didn't do it. So I said, you man. So then she goes into what we don't do on days. So
yes.
Here comes the teamwork. And so what I wanted to say is that teamwork requires
everybody, all shifts.
We're supposed to be working together.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know that I've worked in several SPDs, and one of the downfalls of SPD, out of all the good stuff we do, because we do such good work, we do the best, we have to be transparent and say this, is that we do not get along the way we should.
You're absolutely correct. And that part of it, I do not understand because we're all there. We're getting a paycheck. We're all getting a paycheck. So we're there to work our 8 hours to do whatever, not like, okay, so today you're in decontam. Well, I'm not going to decontam today. No. We're all doing the same job or a different job, but we're going to do this job and we're going to get the job done. So don't say that you're not going because you're going.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're going whether you want to. But the objective is go to the house.
Right, but the objective is to get the trace processed for the patient.
Absolutely.
And so I have a problem with team members who are busy keeping notes on We went
They
yesterday.
did that. They did that. They didn't do that. They didn't put, like you just said, once you
Right,
investigated, you realized that no, that's not what happened.
right.
And you were totally wrong. But it's not even about that. We come here, we work 8 hours, we do whatever we have to do to get the job done. And maybe you be in decontam, may you be sterilization, may you be case cards, may you be assembly, wrap and pack, whatever it is that needs to be done while you're there for those 8 hours. I need for you to do them.
So my point is, if we are a team, then we should be working to get the job done together. And a team, I got your back, you got mine.
Exactly.
So we spend a lot of time. So we do it out in public. We talk about the OR, the OR, the OR. I need us to talk about the SPD, the SPD, the SPD, because I get tired of coming in hearing the report about what you think somebody else didn't do and how you weren't there, but you decided we had time to do it.
Yes, yes.
So you weren't doing your due diligence of work because you was busy calculating what I should have been doing my work. And so not only did she was she angry, and so then we went out to the floor, it's that she had instilled in her group their silo.
Right.
Because they all believed what she was saying was going on. And I said to her, now I've looked at some of the work that you all do on, this is the evening shift, and I decided there's some days I need to ask y'all what y'all did. But I'm very particular about what sword I'm going to die on.
Exactly.
So I look at the overall picture and I say, y'all, we human beings, y'all did good. I said, you have to have the same feeling for the next shift. And your bad attitude does not help us. So not only are you not a team, and they say, they're quick to tell me there's no I in team. I said, but there is an M and an E. That spells me. That means me is in the team.
Exactly.
Me is part of the team. Team me. And you're supposed to work together. And if we spent more time working together, not breaking each other down, we could really do more work.
Absolutely. Worry about what you need to do. Don't worry about what the other person does. Because if you're doing what you need to do, you don't have time to worry about what the other person is doing. And you're not on the shift to see what they're doing. So why are you even bringing it up? I'm just saying, do you have a camera somewhere? Do you have a camera somewhere so you know what we're doing on first shift? Because if you don't have no camera, you don't know what we're doing on first shift.
And first shift, the shifts are different.
Yes, absolutely.
Day shift has a different mechanism. We're there with all the doctors,
turnovers,
administration. Everybody's there. We're turning instruments over. We're adding and disassembling cases as they cancel. There is a different world. 3 to 11, we're breaking it down. We're not a trauma center. We're breaking it down. We're doing less cases. They're busy finding chairs to sit down in.
Oh, yes. We got to have our stools now. We have to have our stools to sit down. Now, me, myself, I can't do it. I'm sorry. When I'm assembling, I have to stand up. I don't want to get comfortable. And that's what I think a lot of people do. They get comfortable when they sit down. And this is not anything that I know about. But in my mind, I believe that when you sit down, it takes you longer to do something.
I don't only believe it. I did a study.
Okay.
And I found in the department I worked in that you take a tray, you put your tray out, and then you realize you don't have the Ferris Smith. You got to get up. You got to go get the Ferris Smith. Along the way to the Ferris Smith, you got to talk to Mary Lou.
Right.
So you talk to Mary Lou a little bit. Eventually, you get back with the Ferris Smith.
Right.
You start checking your instruments. You're checking. You realize you don't have any scissor.
Yeah.
So right. You can't check your scissors because there's none there. So now you got to get up.
Go again.
So it's an up and down mechanism of which it takes you longer to put the tray together. I find that when you're standing, you're more cognizant of what you're doing, and you try to have everything there because you don't want to be walking back and forth.
Right.
But the OSHA says they can have chairs.
That's right.
We started, we couldn't.
No, I couldn't.
Chairs, And so they have chairs. Arlene wrote in there that shift wars, nobody wins. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
What I tell people, thank you, Arlene, for that. What I tell people is that it's not your job to make sure I got a job. I don't need the night shift to leave work for the day shift, leave work for the evening shift. We're trying to be sure everybody got a job.
Well, I got to make sure they got something to do when they come in the morning. They got to have something to do. I'm not going to sit here and do all this work.
Right.
They got to have something to do because they're not doing anything.
But every shift comes in and does a room check. Let me see. I think that was there when I left yesterday. What did y'all do all night long?
Exactly.
They don't do it anymore at this particular group. They've learned to stop because they know I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. Don't say it. I don't want you telling the night shift, what did you do? Don't ask no questions. You're getting paid by the hour, boo. Start putting it together. If it was there when you left, you left it. Put it together now. You put it together because apparently you left it because you recognize it.
Exactly. You recognized it was still sitting there because you left it. You left it for the next shift, and the next shift left it for you.
Right. So what I do know is that bad attitudes will ruin the team. You cannot work well if we're busy angry at each other. And Tanya, what I've told people is that, this is your job. We work for the patient. What you do matters. Leave your attitude at the door.
Right.
Come in. Let's get together. When we work together, we get the work done. We have some time to talk about things if we get the work done together.
Absolutely.
And if we care for each other. I found this this one thing that says a boat does not go forward if each one is rowing their own way. So if me and you were in the boat and I was rowing forward and you was rowing backwards, we just sitting there.
We're just sitting there. I mean, just idle. You know, and that's how they are. They're idle, because they're so focused on what somebody else is doing instead of focusing on doing the work that's in front of you, So, oh yes, Arlene, girl, yes.
Yes. Arlene, I've tried to shorten the perimeter. I have them come in and come straight to the table for report.
Yeah,
right here. Zoom. Stop right here. Get right here.
Don't go no farther. Stop right there.
I have found that you have to find ways to break the silo. And so after we come back from this commercial, we'll talk a little bit more. Thank you to the team that gets it clean. Hi, Arlene. And we're back. Yes. This is The View from My Window, Thursday Thoughts. And tonight we have the president of Ishamon, and we're talking about teamwork, about silos in the SPD. We're talking about SPD's issues. Tonight we're not talking about what the OR does to us. We're not talking about anesthesia techs. This is SPD. And I think that you have to be transparent and fess up to what goes on in your own house. Because we always know what goes on in other folks' houses.
Absolutely.
SPD knows all. We know everybody's business.
We know everybody, all about the OR people, what they doing, and why they took that tray up there and they didn't really need it. Worry about SPD and worry about our patients. Our patients is what we need to worry about.
You're absolutely right.
They have exactly what they need. when they come in to have their procedures done.
Right. You're absolutely right. You know, we have, but what happens is we have these two types of employees. We have the
Yes.
just the job employee.
Yes.
Right. That's the person that does just enough to keep their job while complaining about what's not fair.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's kind of what I have on that 3 to 11 shift. I have that just the job, doing just enough and complaining. And what we really need is, you have to know the difference to see it. We need the employee that works positively and just comes in to do their job, helps each other, and we want to get to the end.
Absolutely. That's exactly what needs to happen. You know, I have a person on my day shift. Oh my goodness, she is phenomenal. When I tell you she is phenomenal, she is phenomenal. And she's a multitasker.
Okay.
Now, I've got to say this. I got to put it out there. I got another one on there that does just enough, and go over there and pick the trays, the easy trays. The easy trays. Get them a cart, and they got the easy trays, and they sitting down and do their work to assemble. And I'm like, okay, somebody needs to get up and unload the washer. They move their spot because they don't want to be close to the washer.
Okay? Right. Okay.
So they move to a whole nother station so they don't be close to the washer. And so the other person that's standing up, assembling her trays, she's over there doing assembling trays. She's doing sterilization. She's unloading the washers, and you sitting there peeling with one tray.
Yes. Well, you know, I think that one reason that we're kind of old school, spend so much time out on the floor is because you have to be there. I call it run the floor. There's a question here that says, how does one remain positive year in, year out? My positivity comes from the fact of knowing I work for the patient and knowing that at the end of the day, when I peruse the area and look at the work that's done and the quality, I'm able to say, you know what? We have some holes in the road, but we are doing a good job. The vice president of my hospital came down to see us today, and the staff talked to him. And the one thing I said to him, I said, the team is a good team. They're good people. That's not a problem. But within good people, we always have people who don't do what they're supposed to do. And it's kind of like people say you cannot herd cats, because they don't like being together. You get 2 cats here, 3 run the other way. You cannot herd cats, but you can herd cows. Cows will follow instruction and they will go where you want them to go. And so you have to stop herding cats in your department and get to cows. And so positivity, Sharon, comes with, I come in every day. First of all, as the manager, I need to be positive. I can't come in with my bad attitude. And expect to spread flowers and joy. I come in every day saying, you know, I come in saying good morning to the night shift. How was your night? Was it a bad night? If it was bad, tell me what was bad. To the day shift that's coming on, we're just getting here. We're not coming in, as I tell them, all of us can't have a bad day on the same day. So Lucy already rolling her eyes, so it's her day. The rest of us gonna be happy. Let Lucy be mad by herself.
Let her be by herself.
Because I refuse at this point, and this is something I think that it took us years to get there. I refuse to come to a job where I spend most of my day and be sad.
Yeah, negative. Being negative about every single thing. I mean, and you know, negativity. When you're negative like that, people feed off of it. You know, if you're positive and you come in positive, and I'm coming in the morning, it's like, hey, how y'all doing? How was your night? Like you just said, when they get ready to leave, well, we get ready to go. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you do. You know, my first shift coming in, I'm saying the same, good morning, everybody. I'm so glad y'all are here. You know, so you have to be positive. And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take a lot of energy to be positive.
It really does.
Energy to be,
you know, just sometimes it just takes a box of Krispy Kreme donuts, and we you know, a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. The question says, does music enhance positivity in your opinion? I think that music allows people to ward off some of them negative thoughts because you start thinking about the song. It's according to what's going on. So,
what song it is? What song it is?
You know, I do have music in my department.
Yes, I do too.
I think that when we don't have music, what I have found, Sharon, is that when we don't have music, we have a tendency to nitpick a lot more. When we have music,
you focus on the music.
You focus a little on, you do your work and you hear your music.
Yeah, and you're rocking to the music.
I bought the systems for one on decon and one on the clean side because I didn't want to go there. Some SPDs, they tell me they wear their earbuds in one ear on their phone and everybody listen to their own thing. No, I have a thing where first, whoever gets there first, that's what we're listening to. I have a diverse department. They're from all over the world. Some days we listening to some music from Bolivia. We don't know what we're listening to. Some days we listening to some music from India. Some days we listening to some Christian rock, gospel. We listen to everything. Country. Exactly. We listen to everything because music soothes people according to what you're playing. Now we can't play none of that back hard rap because I don't know what they saying. I work for the Adventists. And we have to be very careful to what we're listening to.
Exactly.
So, but we do play
some old school music, you know. You can play some gospel. Yeah,
somebody had me crying the other day. They was in there playing Always Love My Mama. I'm like, that's not the song for the day. Cut that off. They're like, oh, we're so sorry.
I know, right? Yeah.
You know, but we listen to music. Music does help. We have all that other noise in there. We got the noise from the cot washer, the noise from the sterilizer. We got the noise from the sterilizer, the noise from the stereo. We got the noise from the buzzer coming in the door. We got the overhead. So sometimes music allows you to clear your mind.
Absolutely.
I think that as a team, my team, I can only speak for mine, has learned, you know, they'll come in and say, oh, it's 9 o'clock. Nobody's got no music on. Somebody go put some music on because we're getting ready to get in here and do some work. And we want to be able to concentrate and do what we have to do. I know that a successful team is a group of many hands working towards one goal.
Right.
And so our goal is to get these trays done. And I was thinking about something you said. I had to put time limits on putting trays together. Because just like you said, you had a person that picks up little trays. And so what we did is said, if you have to do 5 little trays to my 1 medium tray.
Right.
Pick them up.
Yeah.
If I got a medium tray, you need to do 5. And you know, they're like 5. I'm like, yeah, because the tray you doing doesn't take but 5 minutes.
It doesn't take but 5 minutes. So, you know, the one
you look like you did a lot of work, but you didn't do nothing.
Right.
Because the craniotomy tray, the sinus tray. Yeah. You didn't touch none of that with all the screws and plates. You over here with the little L&D tray with 2 forceps in the top.
C-section tray.
You know.
Delivery basins, yeah.
So we had to put limits on people and say, this is what you have to do to get their self together. CA Assist asked a question. Tanya, answer this. Is it possible for a negative Nancy to change his or her reputation in the same department?
I truly believe that it is. Now, a lot of people don't believe that it is. But I truly believe if you get with negative Nancy and try to mentor negative Nancy over to the positive side, and you know what I'm saying? When I say, you know, just be encouraging to negative Nancy. All they want, you know, they're negative, but all they need is some encouragement. And once you start encouraging them and tell them what a great job they're doing and blah, blah, this and blah. I mean, you know, then they'll be nice. They'll be nice.
I think that you can change some negative.
Well, some people.
I think it's all in the presentation. As you say, it's all in how you present it and present it to them. And I think you have to pull them out and call them on it. I think you have to call them and say, listen, you seem to be the bad apple in the bunch this week. I'm not having it. You can't be the bad apple because I need positivity. You have the ability to be positive. As you say, you have the potential to be great. But if you choose to be negative, you have to give them a accountability statement. You're going to have to get off my bus because we're trying to be a team in here. Now
Yeah,
I'm at a place where we're able to talk about things. And every day I say, we're working to be a team. And in order to be a team, we have to communicate. And in communication, we have to be able to talk, to listen, to hear. Because sometimes we listen, don't hear nothing.
Exactly.
Listen, hear, ask questions. Because if you're not sure, ask the question. There's no bad one. Ask the question. But I tell my team each shift, listen, hear, ask questions, talk to each other, not at each other, talk to each other, ask the questions. If they don't have the answer, call me, call your team leaders. We're here to do a job. And when you realize that we can't get paid if we have no patience.
That's right.
I need my job for a few more weeks. Therefore, I need for you to do your job. I need for you to be on the team. This is a team sport. I got this thing down here that I wrote that says, because everybody has their own thing. Ayana Van Zant said, the way to achieve your own success is to be willing to help somebody else get it first.
Bring them along the way.
Help somebody else.
Bring them along the way. Absolutely.
Because you can't be negative Nancy when you're in charge of helping me get to the corner.
Right.
So, we kind of have to get there. I felt some kind of way because of my team, but I will tell you that I brought them all out there. I brought the days and evenings together, and I put it all out there. You say you leave everything on the floor. When you leave, everything is out there on the floor. And I threw it out there to them. I said, evenings doesn't think days does anything. I said, today's, I've watched you all come in. You don't say nothing, but I've watched your body language. I've watched your eyes go over all the whole department.
Rolling their eyes, taking a survey.
So what we have to do is to stop and work on teamwork. And if we spend more time coming in, just pick the tray up. You come in, there's a tray, you get a tray, I get a tray. Everybody, after a while, all the trays are done.
Right.
All the trays are done, and it doesn't matter who did it because you did it within your 8 hours.
Absolutely.
And you got paid. Not one of those hours was volunteer. We paid you for every hour, and you got paid.
Exactly.
And so, I think that teamwork is less of me and more of we. That's what teamwork is.
Absolutely.
And SPDs would do a whole lot better
if it was a we thing.
Atmosphere, if we were
not a me thing, but a we thing.
You absolutely right. Not me. It's all about we. It's all about we. We do the survey every year, the engagement survey, and I tell them every year, this is a survey about you. This is not a survey about me. The survey we do only has 2 questions about your manager. Everything else about you.
Exactly.
So I said, this is not where you're gonna get me fired, but you might get you fired if y'all all say y'all doing bad work.
Absolutely.
So you need to get yourself together. Think about it. Do we do good work? Are we a team? So my question out there to the atmosphere, to everybody is, are you truly a team? And when you're complaining, the only time we're a team is when we're complaining about what somebody in another department didn't do.
Right. Absolutely. So the OR, the folks didn't do point of use cleaning. Right. Now that's something to have a conversation about. As a team, bring it to me, and I guarantee you that I'm going to fix it. Because every single time they bring it to Deacon Tam, we have in SPM, the first thing they're gonna check is what's point of use cleaning performed.
Okay.
That's exactly, they're gonna say it. And then when they say, no, we did, I'm going to pull my little report and say, no, you didn't. And you need to start doing it. And,
my group is getting better because we do have that capability with TDOT. But what I wanted is a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Absolutely.
And I send it to the OR manager.
Absolutely.
To the OR manager. Tell her what room it is. Now they claim they did a good job. You look at it and tell me what you think. And then I need that person in SPD. So we're getting better because we are working administratively as a team because we have decided we work together. And my OR manager, we back each other up. We say the same thing. And she says, in our policy, it says we do point of use cleaning.
Correct.
When the survey gets in and does a tracer, they're not going to say nothing. They're going to watch your activity. They're going to know, did you spray the tray down? They're not stupid.
Right.
And you're going to sink the ship if you're not doing it. So you need to get into the habit of doing it, because that is part of your requirement, getting it done. And so
Absolutely.
I just think that, it was a good thing to talk about SPD and how, go back, those of you all who watch this, and think about it. Do you really have a team? Or do you have a few people, as Tanya said, that are multitaskers who are running around doing everything, and you got some other people that aren't doing as much but are complaining and causing trouble? If you do, those are the group. That's the group you need to pull apart and say, this is what we're going to do here. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to be a team, with or without
you.
I'd rather work short than to be in there here and you complain all night.
Absolutely.
Because while you're complaining, you're not working.
Go find another job if you're unhappy. If you're unhappy on your job, find you a job that makes you happy.
Go to Best Buy. Go to McDonald's. Go to Chick-fil-A. They seem to be real happy over there.
Chick-fil-A, those people are very happy.
And it's my pleasure. Go over there. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. That's how we should be working in SPD.
Absolutely.
It's my pleasure to put that tray together for the patient.
Absolutely.
I'm not here. I think, Lord, we about to have to go off. We're going to have to come back. I think it's not, people misunderstand. You don't come to work to be my friend, but if we can be friends, it makes work easier.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't have to
if we
like
can communicate. Yes, if we can communicate and get along, your day's going to go faster. You're going to get the work done, and that's what you're going to do. But you're right. You don't have to be my friend, but we're going to be in here and we're going to work.
Right. I think that's what we have to do. I tell people, I said, they didn't hire me to get a friend. I got some friends. So if none of y'all my friend, I'm gonna be all right. Because when I leave here, I can call some friends.
Right.
But they hired me to make sure that we do quality work for the good of our patients.
Yes.
And you all say how good you are. Let us work to show how good we are. Let us work to show when people come in that we are a team. Let us round the clock. We work 24/7. Let's get this work done. I will tell you that, and I'm very transparent. Anybody can come visit me at Shady Grove anytime. When I first started there 5 years ago, can you believe it's been 5 years?
I can't.
5 years ago, I'd come in and every hospital has a rack. The rack would be full of instruments.
Yes.
It's from the top to the bottom.
Yes. And
the table would have a lot of single instruments that need to be pill packed. The table was where they went. And I came in and I watched. And then I said, how do the instruments get to the table? Seeing how they came out the washer in a tray.
Right.
And then we find out that everyone was putting the instruments that should be pill packed in the middle of the table, because that was somebody's job.
That was somebody's job.
So I fired somebody, and that became everybody's job.
Exactly.
Because I took that job away from somebody. And then I said, I take every evening, my evening shift takes a picture of what's left on the rack for the night shift.
Okay.
And they send it to me. Now, what I found once I started that, it wasn't so much stuff left on the rack, because they knew they had to be accountable, their team, for what was left on the rack. They knew I was going to come back and say, let me see what time the last case came down. Let me see what it was, and help me understand why this laparoscopic tray is here when the last case came down at 7:00. So we've learned. And so by daytime, we know we've had a rough day, evenings and nights, if you come back the next morning and there's anything on the rack.
Absolutely. If you come back in and there's nothing on the rack,
they've done it.
Exactly.
So they work for it. They work for it, because now this is a team sport.
It's accountability.
Every shift got to pull their own weight, because you want to be able to articulate why. That's all you got to do.
Correct.
Just explain in the report. Let me explain why these trays are still on the shelf.
Yeah. you got to have an explanation. We had a bad night. They had emergencies and traumas coming in at my hospital. That's what seems to keep rolling out of their mouth. And they do have traumas coming in.
True.
We're a level 2 trauma center, so they do have them, and I get that part of it. But still, you still have to know what you need to get back up in order for the patients the next day to have what they need.
That's true. That's true. I don't want any patient relying on us to have to do an immediate use steam sterilization cycle because we didn't do something. And so we have to be a complete team. We have to be a complete team to do what we have to do. And our time is up.
Yes, it is.
It's so much fun to have you on, Miss Tanya.
Thank you for having me
on.
It's my pleasure to do. It was my pleasure to do this, just like it was my pleasure to set up a tray for my patient.
Yes.
I tell my people that.
Yes, and I just want to say that I read about this, and this is my mic drop, Sharon, for tonight. A single leaf working alone provides no shade.
Hello.
Let's be a team. That's a mic drop. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
The View from My Window. Thursday Thoughts with Sharon Greene-Golden. We've had a special guest tonight, Tanya Lewis, the president of Isham. Thank you all.
Good night.
Get you clean. Bye.
Bye-bye.